students, nice to see you. This is the agenda for March 30th to April 3rd. I just want to run through it with you really quickly. Before I do, in the email I sent to you and your parents, I mentioned that activities from last week and this week are going to be posted on School Loop, but they're out of 0 points. It's just to show if you completed them. It helps me track who's doing what, but it is not affecting your semester grade. So last week and this week, it will be posted on School Loop, but again, it doesn't affect your grade, and you'll just see a T if you turned it in, and you won't see anything if you didn't turn it in. So that's how that works. For this week's agenda for English, I've posted a door question or a question of the week. It is in the English Google Classroom. Make sure that you answer it, because that's what I'm using for attendance to make sure that everybody's checked in. I've also posted another question just like last week for good things or support claps. That is totally optional if you want to do that one. It's just what we normally do on Mondays, so that's posted there. The next assignment that you have that you need to do are 2 Newsela articles again. For these articles though, I want you to annotate them on Newsela, and there's a reminder in the directions on Google Classroom and in Newsela about how to annotate. And you're just annotating for how is that article related to refugee. When you finish the article, you will then take the quiz. Again, it's 2 articles. One of them is about a baseball player who escaped Cuba and his journey to leave Cuba. And then the other article is about YouTubers, and because of Cuba's poor internet connectivity, how they're uploading videos to YouTube. After that, there are a couple of assignments related to 40 Book Challenge. So let me explain those really quickly. The first one is to turn in your 3rd quarter 40 Book Challenge. Now, this is going to be an actual assignment when you guys get back from spring break, but I decided to give you the option to do it this week if you wanted to get a head start. All you're doing for that is you're taking pictures of your 40 Book Challenge folder, the goal page, and then the 3 pages of charts. And then you're going to turn those pictures into me as an assignment so that I could grade it. Remember, I never collected it because I was gone that Friday, and then we never had school again. So I do want to get those into the grade book. So there's more directions on how to post that on the Google Classroom assignment, and feel free to email me if you have any technical questions about that. The next thing is for setting up the 4th quarter 40 Book Challenge. So since you can't be turning in a physical copy of your books and your response entries each week, since we are doing school remotely, what you're going to do is you're going to fill out your chart on the digital copy, and there's some directions. This is not an assignment you have to get started on this week. Again, it's something I was planning on assigning when you get back from spring break and we start our new learning. But I have had a couple of questions from students about, hey, when can I start doing books for 4th quarter? And so I'm giving you access to this assignment, and there are more directions on the actual Google posting for this assignment. Okay, the last one is just to continue reading on your own independently, so SSR, and then to do a 40 Book Challenge check-in. So last week, some of you emailed me and you're like, I feel really nervous about being on video in front of my classmates. Totally understandable. That's how I feel every time I make these videos. So for this week, what I decided to do is I have set the Flipgrid videos to private so that only I can see them. And that's it. So I do want you to at least try making the video so that you do get to it. But again, the videos will be set to private. If you think you have a good video, or you're just confident, or if you just don't care about it being posted, email me and say, Mrs. Nice, you could post this as a class example, and I will make yours visible. If you don't email me though, I will assume you don't want anybody to see it, and I will keep it private so that only I can see it. Just so you know, this is how I'm doing my check-ins with what you're reading. And so I would expect from this point forward, when you are trying to turn in books for 40 Book Challenge, I should have probably seen a Flipgrid video for you with the book. That's how I'm checking you have the actual book, is that I've actually seen your progress in reading it. Also keep in mind, a bunch of you did the 40 Book Challenge video last week on Flipgrid. It is totally fine and normal if you're still reading the same book. That's completely expected. In 7th grade, I would expect that it takes a student about a week or 2 to read the book. Now, if after 3 weeks you're still on the same book, that's when I can tell that you're not really putting the time into reading that you're supposed to put in. So for this week, if it's the same book as last week, that's totally fine. It is completely expected. Just make sure that you're saying something new about it, okay? Something new that you like or dislike, and a new observation or input about who you think would like the book. So that's the English agenda. Again, all of those things are posted in the English Google Classroom. Moving into history. This week for history, you have a CNN activity or CNN10 activity. You're just going to watch CNN10 every day and take bullet point notes on a document that I've left for you about connections to our units. That's posted in Google Classroom. The other activity is the Mansa Musa activity. We're trying to figure out, was Mansa Musa really the richest person ever? So remember, we talked about Mansa Musa earlier this year. He was the emperor of Mali in West Africa, and he was Muslim and he helped spread Islam. So you're going to be learning about him, and was he really actually the richest person ever? It's kind of like a little mini DBQ. There's only 3 documents. The cool thing about this assignment this week is we are trying a bunch of new technology. So for actually reading and annotating the documents, you're going to be using Kami or Kami, I'm not sure how you say it, but you're going to be using that, and that allows you to annotate the documents. I will try to post a video about how to use that to the actual assignment if I get the chance, but it seems pretty self-explanatory. And then for the slideshow or the slide deck that I would normally show in class, giving you background information, we're going to use something called, what's it called? It's called Pear deck. And it kind of walks you through the slide deck, and it gives you like little checks for understanding or questions after a couple of the slides. So it's kind of cool. It'll send me the data, and there's more information about that on the actual Google Classroom assignment. You end up annotating 3 documents, documents A, B, and C. You view the slide deck, and then there's an exit ticket for you to answer. The last history assignment is really just a core assignment. It's continuing. If you have any makeup work to do, absent or late work to do, and get turned in, please do that this week so that when we start learning new things after spring break, you're totally caught up with all of your absent and late work. And then also, just like last time, I have some other activities you could do if you're bored. Again, those are completely optional. I don't actually expect you to do them, but if you really like English, or if you're super bored and just need something to do, those are there for you. As always, email me if you have any questions, and if needed, we could set up a video conference via Google Meet. If you feel like you need to meet with me face-to-face, it could be a video conference, or there's a way you could actually share your screen with me via Google Meet so that if you're having tech troubles, I can help you troubleshoot and see what you're seeing on your screen. Have a great week and good luck.